Did Jay-Z really force Beyonce to leave Destiny's Child? So, in the past couple of weeks, we've heard a lot of tea about how Jay-Z allegedly keeps Beyonce under his control. But it looks like he has been doing it for way longer than we expected, since he played a major role in Destiny's Child breaking up because he wanted Beyonce all to himself. But why did Beyonce go along with his wishes? And did he really sacrifice Aaliyah just to make Beyonce a superstar? Destiny's Child is, without a doubt, one of the greatest girl groups to ever exist in the history of music. I mean, the group gave us Kelly Rowland and Beyonce, so I don't think any group is going to top that any soon. They first started popping in the 90s, and at the time, there were 4 girls in a group: Beyonce, Kelly Rowland, Latavia Robertson, and LaToya Lockett. They got their first #1 hit in 1999 with the song Bills, Bills, Bills. But it wasn't long after the #1 hit that drama started springing up in the group. Latavia and LaToya felt like their manager, Matthew Knowles, who was Beyonce's dad, was being unfair to them, and that he favored Beyonce and Kelly over them. At the time, Kelly was living with the Knowles family because she had issues at home, and she had become more like a daughter to Matthew. And this kind of explains why Latavia and LaToya felt like he was being biased towards them. Well, they eventually left the group and were replaced by Michelle Williams, forming the iconic trio that became one of the best-selling groups of all time. They won 3 Grammys and things were just working out for them. Then Beyonce met Jay-Z and fell in love. Well, not really, because nobody really believes that they're a love match. And Beyonce's bodyguard has also confirmed that it was a business arrangement from the very start.
Your relationship was a business relationship, financial, to get to the top, to become billionaires. There's no love there.
Beyonce and Jay-Z first went public with their relationship in 2002 when they worked on their song '03 Bonnie and Clyde. It is to be believed that they had started dating way before that though, with some sources claiming that their relationship started around 2000 or so when Beyonce was 18 and Jay-Z was around 30. Their wide age gap has been a hot topic among fans because a lot of people believe that Jay-Z might have groomed Beyonce since she was so young and he already had a lot of experience, both in real life and in the industry. In fact, there are some people who say that Jay-Z was the brain behind Destiny's Child breaking up because he wanted to be in charge and control Beyonce's career. Remember how I said that Beyonce and Jay-Z started dating around 2000? Well, I find it interesting that in 2000 was the first time that Destiny's Child announced that they were going to start working on individual solo projects. Some might call this a coincidence, but I don't really think so though. Over the years, Jay-Z has been accused of controlling Beyonce, and there are people who believe that this was where his control really started from. There are speculations that he tried to separate her from the group because he wanted to make her a star and build her career so that they together could be the power couple that they are today. He had identified Beyonce's star potential and that she was like more likely than Kelly and Michelle to be a superstar. But for him to make her a superstar, he needed her to go solo. Now, we gotta talk about the rumors about Jay-Z and Aaliyah. You know, those ones about how he allegedly eliminated Aaliyah so that he could eliminate Beyonce's major competition in the industry. I think that we all can agree that Aaliyah and Beyonce were 2 major names in the industry, and a lot of people believe that Jay-Z didn't want anything to interfere in Project Beyonce. So he conspired to take Aaliyah out. Also, Jay-Z kind of had the hots for Aaliyah, but she didn't reciprocate his feelings because she was dating his close friend Damon Dash at that time. Several sources have spoken about how Jay-Z was hung up on her, but she paid him no mind and left him in the dust. And we gotta admit, though, right, that the circumstances surrounding Aaliyah's death was suspect. She was returning to the US after shooting a music video in the Bahamas, but their return plane was way smaller than the plane that they had arrived in. The plane was also way overweight. And as if that wasn't bad enough, the pilot was also under the influence at the time. Reports have also revealed that Aaliyah refused to go on the plane because she believed that something was wrong. According to the New York Post, the hip hopper's crew returned to see what was amiss, whereupon Aaliyah reiterated her concerns. At this point, one of her teams handed her a sleeping pill, causing her to fall into a deep sleep, after which they carried an unconscious Aaliyah onto the plane. They took her out of the van, and she didn't even know she was getting boarded on a plane. So it looks like she was drugged and was taken onto the plane without her consent. And if that don't scream weird, then I don't know what does. It's not only her fans that thought that Aaliyah was because Mary J. Blige also freaked out and revealed that Aaliyah's was probably not an accident. She said she wasn't a close friend. It was just that when I saw her, that's when I discovered the fact that I'm next. I don't know how or when, but I'm next. I don't know what kind of freak accident they're going to put me in or what kind of overdose they're going to sort out. But at the end of the day, I knew I was next. I just thought, I'm scared. Well, people have pointed fingers at Jay-Z for being behind this as part of his plans to make Beyonce the biggest R&B artist. But again, Destiny's Child stood in his way. And like I said before, man's not interested in the entire group. Jay-Z worked with Beyonce on her debut solo album, Dangerously in Love, which was wildly successful. I think the success of Dangerously in Love was what convinced Beyonce that she could stand alone as a solo artist, especially since she had Jay-Z backing her. 2 years later, Destiny's Child officially announced that they were breaking up. They released a statement by saying, "We have been working together as Destiny Child since we were 9 and touring together since we were 14. After a lot of discussions and some deep soul searching, we realized that our current tour has given us the opportunity to leave Destiny's Child on a high note. United in our friendship and filled with overwhelming gratitude for our music, our fans, and each other, after all these wonderful years working together, we realized that now is the time to pursue our personal goals and solo efforts in earnest." At this point, Jay-Z had already succeeded in getting Beyonce out of the group, and he could move forward with his plans of creating the biggest power couple that Hollywood has ever seen. And to his credit, he did play a big part in making Beyonce the superstar she is, even if he has to keep her under his control to do that. For some context, Jaguar Wright came forward to expose Beyonce's dad, Matthew, for allegedly handing Beyonce over to Jay-Z for him to control her.
It's a business arrangement. She was a dowry. He married her and he got to have control of the Houston rap scene behind the scenes. Matthew Knowles handed it over to him, and then he fucked daddy over, moved him out the way, and took the whole bitch for herself.
Okay, now the math is kinda mathing because Beyonce split from Matthew as her manager only 2 years after she got married to Jay-Z, who has also been exposed for allegedly keeping Beyonce drugged up, so she remains under his control.
See, hardly nobody knows, but I'll say it, man. Yeah, Beyonce's on drugs. She been on them for a long time, and you keep her that way.
He's a monster. And I've known he's a monster for years.
Mm-hmm.
I waited a long time to see if he would grow a conscience. And the more drugs he pumps down his wife's throat to keep her in a catatonic
No, girl. If Beyonce is in prison, she's in one of the most expensive prisons ever.
Yes, she is. And she's watched 24 hours a day. She's not allowed to make a choice for herself, not at all, not in any way.
Oh.
People think she has an amazing life. She is told what to say, she is told what to eat, she is told what to drink, she is told what to wear.
By whom?
She is not her husband's wife. She is his employee. It's a business arrangement. She was a dowry.
So it looks like even though Jay-Z successfully disbanded Destiny's Child and built the biggest music dynasty with Beyonce, it's still not enough for him. He's probably so worried about losing it all. So he needs to keep Beyonce at his side at all costs. Someone commented, Jay-Z made Beyonce lead Destiny Child. There were other comments saying stuff like, remember when Aaliyah didn't want to marry Jay-Z? So the Illuminati killed her and broke up Destiny's Child so Bey and Jay-Z could be a thing? And Jay-Z effed them over. That's why Destiny Child broke up, but he kept Beyonce. I swear, the more we find out about Jay-Z and Beyonce's lives, the more we start to realize just how messed up it is. But if you think this is insane, oh, just wait until you watch the next video.